Hello everyone and now welcome to a game 20 versus Romantic. This game taking place here on Tide Hunters. 120 has spawned as the random undead player here at what I'll call the 10 o'clock position. Yes, he did choose random. I don't know if that was on purpose or on accident. He did end up getting undead, so perhaps there's just an improper race selection, and well, because he lucked into the correct race, everything is working out well, or perhaps he really did choose random and 120 is playing a little bit of an infi style, changing up races and well, changing up races and making things just a bit more interesting. Now let's take a look at what Romantic is doing here. Romantic opening up with the Altar of Kings Barracks Farm, pretty standard opening here. Meanwhile, 120 looks as though he is opening up with either ghouls, well, most likely with ghouls, either with a Dreadlord or a Death Knight opening first. For all you guys out there, I hope you guys had a wonderful 2021. It has been a rather eventful 2 years both in the world and outside, and it is going to be a Cryptlord coming in from 120 with that go wide strategy. Archmage going to be opening up as well alongside some footmen, and well, it will look like 120 may try and establish up an expansion early on here. Yeah, for all you guys out there, thank you for tuning in. 2021 has been a bit of an up and down year for me, just trying to keep things together, and hopefully I'll be able to continue to do some casts moving forward. And for all you guys out there wondering where I have been for the past couple of days, well, I was taking a bit of time off, spending time with my family, traveling, and well, I am now back at it, not for the money, but for the love of the game and for the community that I have brought together on YouTube and a little bit here on Twitch. Opening things up, Cryptlord will be making its way out. Archmage is already out onto the battlefield and is going to be going after a relatively difficult creep camp, going after this Forest Troll High Priest as the Rock Golem is currently away from all of the action. Forest Troll High Priest will end up getting taken down pretty quickly and easily there. It gets taken down there. Archmage may want to drop a second Water Elemental to try and absorb and tank up a lot of that damage. Mud Golem hasn't cast any slow. Rock Golem has not done any boulder tosses either, as the Rock Golem now switches aggro back over to that Water Elemental. Archmage picks up a Sobi Mask, exactly what the Doctor ordered there, being able to get in even more Water Elementals during this early portion and stage of the game, allowing him to perhaps do a bit more creeping. Hello, Crota, been following since the Wings of Liberty days. Good to see you. Well, thank you for following me for what seems like 10 years now. Meanwhile, looking back down to the south here, we are looking at 120 going after the Gargantuan Sea Turtle, Giant Sea Turtle creep camp here. And this is a relatively difficult creep camp to clear up. It looks as though the Cryptlord will have no problems clearing up this creep camp. He cleared out some green creep camps earlier in order to go for this go wide strategy. And 120 is clearing out an orange creep camp, a relatively difficult orange creep camp, a 577 creep camp as his second creep camp after selling that Scroll of Helm portal. All right. Potion of Greater Healing was the item dropped right there. Welcome back, Crota. Is there a way to somehow increase your RPM on YouTube? Well, if people buy ads on my specific channel, that's a way to increase it. Also, really the best way for me to increase my RPM and increase my presence on YouTube is to have all of you guys out there who watch to hit subscribe, hit like on YouTube. It makes me much more relevant, as we're looking at a Water Elemental now being dropped here. Water Elemental level 2 variety, able to deal quite a bit of damage here, 33 to 41 per attack, as we're looking at those skeletal minions looking to back away as well. Skeletal minion should be an easy pick off here. Are we going to perhaps get a surround? Archmage does have a decent amount of hit points and mana. Going to perhaps go after the skeletal warrior there, get a little bit of additional experience and continue to drop in more water elementals. Here we are, there we are, going into that engagement there. Skeletal minions going after all of those peasants that they are trying to, well, set up the expansion here, as one peasant looks like it will get taken out. A big impale across multiple units there, as the Town Hall now down to 400 some odd hit points. Trying to get repaired back up. Death Knight, or excuse me, Cryptlord could be in a little bit of trouble trying to back into a corner, uses the Potion of Greater Healing right there, as the Archmage now heads off to the north. Not quite sure why. As the Archmage backs away, it does represent a good amount of damage with that 27 to 33 range attack there. No upgrade to the Arcane Tower as of yet, as we are still looking at a large number of repairs by these peasants. Archmage has enough mana for another Water Elemental here. We're going to see a little bit of damage, and are we going to see a block? No, we are not. Cryptlord able to squeeze on through once more. Early action already straight out of the gate. 120, however, has an expansion already up and running, and Romantic must suspect that something is, well, amiss. Thank you for the follow, Parcel. Hey, Equix, thank you for the love as well. He noticed that there was a potion of greater healing on that Cryptlord, and the only way to get a potion of greater healing, thank you for the follow again. Did someone raid me and it just didn't let me know? I have more follows. I have 2 follows, even though there's only 3 viewers right now. A little bit of a misstep there. Archmage going after the Necropolis here. Thank you for the follow once again. Archmage continuing to put down this pressure. Necropolis trying to fight back here as the Archmage makes its way back. Yeah, thank you for the raid. All right, hopefully you guys enjoy all of this WarCraft 3 action. And with 40 people, thank you very much, as the Cryptlord is now looking to defend back against the Archmage here. Archmage, Boots of Speed, will be forced to back up here. The Cryptlord did have that Staff of Teleportation, was able to get back home in quite a bit of a hurry, and it looks as though 120 is not going to have any real problems trying to defend this location. The Water Elemental is not going to be enough to really stop the expansion, but it could perhaps, well, cripple the Necropolis as it's trying to be built, forcing a cancellation and a rebuild. Water Elemental going to get taken down here as the Cryptlord currently sitting at level 2, very close to level 3, but unable to get that much higher as the Necropolis quickly gets cancelled here. Archmage with that Sobi Mask doing quite a bit of work as the Cryptlord now gets up to level 3 here. Another Ziggurat looks like it was going to be cancelled or destroyed once more as 120 tries to hold on to this expansion. Crota in the casting game for more than a decade, guys. Thank you. Loving WarCraft 3. Yep, love WarCraft 3 as well. Been casting WarCraft 3 for over a decade. Still at it as pretty much a part-time hobby. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Cryptlord going to end up getting no easy kill off on that Footman right there as the Archmage able to get the deny here once more. Continuing to battle it up here. Cryptlord looking to just hold on to this expansion here, and the question is now who is going to transition from this from the harassment. Both sides have an expansion. Both sides got harassed. Romantic is now nearing tier 2. Meanwhile, we are already at Halls of the Dead and training up a Death Knight by 120. That additional hero should make its presence pretty much known very quickly, as level 1 Death Coil has an immediate impact on the game. There is still about another 2 minutes before we see a Mountain King or a second human hero coming in from Romantic, unless he tries to go for a Tavern hero, which might be questionable at this point and stage in the game. Footman quickly getting taken down there here, as we're still looking at more battling coming back and forth. 120 holding onto this expansion ever so barely, as the Cryptlord is doing its best to try and go wide with the number of units that it has out here. Beetles are getting taken down though. Archmage now down to 158 hit points. It may be forced to back up here as more ghouls come off the lumber line to try and put in pressure. That Sobi Mask doing quite a bit of work this game, allowing Romantic to constantly just drop down more and more water elementals, taking down those undead buildings as they were being summoned. Now that the Death Knight is here, the party is pretty much over. We can see a couple of Impales there trying to finish off some more of those units. Thank you for the follow as well, Sparta, as we're going to be looking at another Footman getting taken down. Happy New Year. And for all of you guys who, well, have already celebrated the New Year, Happy New Year to you. For everyone, well, I guess this side of the Prime Meridian? I don't know. GMT, well, actually very, very few places have celebrated New Year, except for, I believe, the East Coast of Asia and maybe East Coast of Asia probably has celebrated the New Year already. Anyways, coming back around, Death Knight sitting at level 1, more creeping coming along, and 120 getting that Death Knight and getting that tech advantage at the right moment to make sure that the opponent has to back up. But that tech advantage has been short-lived, as the Mountain King is already out on the battlefield, and that Mountain King alongside dual Arcane Sanctums and dual Workshops will be going into casters and perhaps some flying machines and mortars. More farms being placed down to try and protect Romantic's expansion here, as both sides looking for where the actual human army is. Human army in a small Goblin Zeppelin, only a handful of Footmen, Archmage, and Mountain King, but that is quickly deterred. We celebrate in 7 hours in Germany. I just, all right, well, happy New Year. I am all the way on the west coast of west coast of America in California, so I still got quite a bit of ways to go. Good morning, Aria. All right, Archmage gets up to level 4. Death Knight nearby, trying to perhaps do a little bit of a steal right there. Are we perhaps going to see a Death Coil steal onto that Gargantuan Sea Turtle who is already down? Lightning Shield now onto the Gargantuan Sea Turtle. Beautiful play by 120, making it so that, yeah, he has to make a bit of a play right there. Lightning Shield there. Are we going to see some more Dead Footmen? Yes, we are. One, a Mana Stealing being used. Mountain King using that, trying to finish off some of those ghouls as they're coming in one at a time. There goes another Stormbolt. However, Death Coil in time to save that ghoul once more. Mountain King still has enough mana for another Stormbolt. If it uses that one Mana Stealing, but it still may be on cooldown as the Death Knight and the Crypt Lord now makes its way over with dual Obsidian statues. All right, coming back around. Crypt Lord making its way off to the north. Death Knight is right there as well. That Lightning Shield, well, ticked a little bit of damage, gave a little bit of a favorable position. But what is this? Romantic catching his opponent, trying to creep already a nice creep jack here as the Mountain King currently low on mana, trying to get a little bit more from that Brilliance Aura, unable to get all that much so far. Mountain King running in, a big impale across the center. Mountain King gets up to level 2 though. Wanda Mana Stealing could be used here perhaps to try and get down a Thunderclap of some sort, perhaps to slow down some units going now after a Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, however, has a giant target on its back to get a Death Coil and a Lightning Shield on it right there. Lightning Shield on that Crypt Fiend, protecting it from all of those footmen who are now low on hit points. Beautiful use of the Lightning Shield by 120. I have rarely seen the Lightning Shield be that effective in a 1v1 match. Beautiful use in 2 separate instances there, tipping things in favor of 120 now. Coming back down to the south here, we see a large number of low hit point footmen, spellbreakers. Paladin now back out onto the field as well. Paladin quickly using some Holy Light to try and top off this entire army, as the Scroll of Regeneration is most likely in order. 120 using this opportunity and time to go after this red creep camp here. There are two or three actually shadow melding units here that are quickly going to get taken down. Level 3 on the Death Knight is perhaps possible. No, Lich is now out here onto the battlefield as well, so that will deny level 3 on that Death Knight. Meanwhile, Mountain King shows up to the party here, tries to finish off one Crypt Fiend. Not going to be able to do it all that easily. Are we going to see another Death Coil? Yes, Holy Light finishes it off as the Crypt Fiend thought it got to safety. Mountain King now could be in a bit of trouble. Cyclone on to the Paladin. Mountain King now in trouble. Is a Holy Light going to go down? No, it is not. The Cyclone perfectly timed to deny Holy Light as the Mountain King was trying to get away, trapped himself into a corner instead. 60 supply compared to 67. Beautiful battle coming back across both sides as we see a Water Elemental now getting taken down. Death Knight just still shy of level 3. Lich shy of level 2 as well, trying to finish things off, but there are enough flying machines in the air to cause quite a bit of problems if destroyers are tried to be trained up to counter those knights. A large number of Crypt Fiends are down, but there are Knights and Spellbreakers out onto the battlefield. The Knights will be trying to dive in with their Sundering Blades and finish off those Crypt Fiends rather quickly. Meanwhile, in comes the Knights now, as we can see. Are we perhaps going to be getting in some Frost Nova or Frost armor onto those Crypt Fiends as those Crypt Fiends are trying to be saved? Another tactical impale Death Coil Frost Nova in trying to take down another Knight. A Knight does go down as the Death Knight gets up to level 3. Death Knight also having a Scroll of Healing in this battle as the giant Sea Turtles are still angry at the undead, getting in a little bit of additional damage. Back and forth action, but 120 has a bit of a advantage here. 4-3-2 going up against 4 and a dead Mountain King and a level 1 Paladin. Will 120 be able to continue to hold on to this advantage here as we are looking at a Necropolis being placed in position to try and stop any additional expansions by human? Romantic also with a squadron of flying machines in the middle portion of the map knows exactly where the undead army is traveling off to and is ready to swoop on in if destroyers do take to the skies. 64 supply compared to 74 right now. Still a neck and neck game here. No one really having the clear cut, or I've actually got to say 120 has the clear advantage. It is his game to try and direct, but it is still too close to call as the Mountain King is already back onto the battlefield and the Paladin gets to level 2. Paladin has not trained up his second. Nope, has trained up Devotion Aura now, as we're going to be looking at the Knights now making their way out off to the north. All right, more Knights getting trained up, more Priests, more Sorceresses. 71 over 78 supply compared to 76 over 80. Clearing after this Granite Golem creep camp. And dropping a big item would be extremely helpful indeed. Mountain King going for level 3 Storm or level 2 Stormbolt or level 2 Thunderclap could greatly change the outcome of the game. Meanwhile, Undead with an illusion going to be wandering around here trying to figure out where exactly his opponent is. One Priest doing a lot of overtime work trying to heal up all of these units as we see War Song Battle Drums plus 7% damage bonus for the entire human army. Is that item going to be enough of an advantage? We also are looking at a Staff of Sanctuary on that Archmage as well, and that Paladin is also getting very close to level 3 as well. Level 2 Holy Light will make a very big difference, and we could be looking at a 5-3-3 going up against a 5-3-3 here momentarily, as the Lich is and that Frost Nova will be doing quite a bit of damage as well. 5 experience shy from level 3. Coming back through, Lich making its way off to the north will be getting to level 3 before the Paladin does. And this is a game where you get a small advantage and try to capitalize on it and make it bigger. Definitely a textbook game here. Undead having a slight advantage, but well, how's it going to translate as a couple of Acolytes are going to be giving quite a bit of free experience to all of these units here, as all of those Acolytes are trying to get away. Another unit trying to get taken down here once more. That Acolyte down to 87 hit points, down to 17. Yeah, that's how much damage a Knight does with those Sundering Blades, able to finish off or deal 60 damage to an Acolyte because of that armor difference per swipe. 120 has 77 supply compared to 80 supply of Romantic. On top of that, though, 120 does have quite a bank of gold, 1,400 gold sitting, waiting to be used. Perhaps gonna buy some more powerful items. Lich is at level 3. Death Knight now getting closer to level 4. Also has a Ring of Regeneration for even a more improved regeneration on top of the Unholy Aura that it currently has. There's a quick Death Coil once more as the fighting is going to go around. Scroll of Town Portal, Crippler going to go ahead and teleport back home and teleports into this engagement here. Quick Impale, big damage once more as the Mortar teams try to splash in some free damage. More damage coming across. Holy Light trying to save the Mountain King. Mountain King seems to be okay for now, as even a Goblin Shredder joining in on the fight here. Big Impale across multiple units once again. It looks as though Goblin Shredder gets saved by Staff of Sanctuary at the last possible moment. More fighting getting underway. Obsidian statues are all safely in the back, but the Mortar teams could really rack up some damage. Abominations trying to chase after some units here, as there's some big clutch heals going across on both sides. There goes a Crypt Fiend, as Romantic seeming to be able to win out in this battle so far. 75 supply compared to 66. 120 will trying to retrain up, but the experience given and the experience advantage of 120 is still there, at least for now. 5-4-3 compared to a 4-3-3. A slight difference there. Holy Light right there. More Devour Magic coming back across. One Destroyer trying to finish off many of those units. Destroyer could easily get bursted down if it is not careful. Down to 600 hit points after a big heal again, as more units are fighting back and forth. All right, continuing that battle back and forth. Destroyer trying to stay on ever so barely. Death Knight still has enough mana for another Death Coil. Needs to constantly save the heroes. So many targets to heal, and well, so little time to do it, as the cooldowns are just absolutely clutch right now. 77 supply compared to 68. However, a couple of webs are making things rather difficult for the flying machines. We can see a bunch of low hit point Knights right over here, and they are not getting taken down yet. How are they not getting taken down, as the Crippler falls at level 5? Knight number 1 now falls as well. Staff of Sanctuary cooldown once more, able to join back in on the fight. Losing a level 5 Cripplord, was that the turning point for Romantic? Romantic now at 69 supply compared to 120, 70 supply. Level 5 Archmage going up against a level 4 Death Knight, the only or the highest level hero there. Mountain King could be coming back around. Mountain King still has plenty of mana as well. Mountain King with level 2 Thunderclap quickly gets a Stormbolt off onto the Lich. Lich could be in trouble. Death Coil for the save once more. Frost Nova onto the Mountain King. Mountain King trying to back away. Mountain King has a potion of healing. Will it be forced to use it? Yes, it does, as more units are still fighting away. A long back and forth battle here, as the burrowed Crypt Fiend does burrow and stick its head in the sand just in time. Death Knight still in a bit of trouble, as the level 4 Mountain King, well, now getting level to Stormbolt, and that could perhaps turn things around as well. All right, trying to finish off all the rest of these remaining water elementals here. Water elemental going to get taken down. There it goes, but no experience given. There's Stormbolt onto another Crypt Fiend trying to stay alive here. Death Knight actually in the frontline spot, actually in a little bit of a dangerous position as the Abominations need to get into that frontline location and try and protect all of these Crypt Fiends. 72 supply compared to 77. It is pretty much even again. No bank advantage either, but without the Crypt Lord and the presence of that Impale, that front line of human units have been able to do so much damage. Spirit Tower out across over here as well. A little bit more damage coming back across. Another Staff of Sanctuary saving, I believe, another low hit point Knight as the Goblin Zeppelin is going to could get focused down here pretty quickly. Level 4 now on that Lich, but what is it going to translate into? Perhaps getting in some dark rituals as a big thunderclap slows down much of the undead army. 75 supply compared to 71. This battle has been going on forever and a day, as the Mountain King still in that front line position, trying to perhaps snipe down some of those units. Deathcoil saves another Abomination. Crypt Fiend continuing the battle up as the Knights have just been microed so extremely well. Holy Light getting saved, Staff of Sanctuary. Even all of this off of just one Staff of Sanctuary as another Abomination falls. Death Knight now trying to come back the other way. Crypt Lord shows up from the other side bearing gifts of Impale, but only hits a single water elemental. That Crypt Lord is going to be in a bit of problems, as that Crypt Lord, well, needs to give some potion of manas to the Death Knight. That way the Death Knight can do a bit more as well. All right, are we going to see a couple of flying machines get burrowed or webbed down? Yes, we are. That is going to force a slight engagement here. 77 supply compared to 71, as another Impale picks up and drops off some more units again. Obsidian statues are still all here. Flying machines getting thrown down. More Staff of Sanctuary is trying to save units. 75 supply compared to 77, as a tactical retreat is in order by Romantic, as he didn't like the direction this game was going. All right, this additional base by Romantic may be the saving grace, as the main bases only have about, 90 seconds of mining left. This base off over here needs to get a little bit more mining going as well, and that could eventually be a problem. All right, not mining from this additional base. 120 suffered quite a bit of losses here, as the Acolytes may be transitioning over momentarily, setting up a new base off to the north, or is 120 perhaps going to try to do an all-in attack? That is the question we have here. 120, considering his options, he could unsummon a couple of buildings, try and buy a couple more scrolls of healing, and then do in for that final push. No Banshees yet. Yeah, trying to get the Banshees and the tech out now may be too little too late. Plenty of guard towers out here, but no masonry upgrades, as the push is now getting underway here. Arcane Tower was already destroyed. Death Coil onto all of these destroyers here to try and finish all of this up. Mountain King may try and get off a big thunderclap. Does slow everything down, as the flying machines quickly get webbed down here. Destroyer is going to go ahead and try and engage. More flying machines looking to engage here. Crypt Fiends are on the ground. 80 supply compared to 79. Flying machines are pretty much all stuck in position here, as the Knights are going after the units. Death Knight falls at level 4, as the flying machine squadrons are all overhead, and, well, 120 does end up throwing in the towel, giving the GG. 120 with the higher hero score ends up losing that marathon fight right there. 120 losing to that Crypt Lord early in that second to last fight. And that prolonged fight without the Crypt Lord, without those Impales, really took a toll on 120's army, as Romantic's army was able to pretty much freely dive on in with those Knights, coupled with a couple of clutch Staff of Sanctuaries from Romantic at the right time, saving the Goblin Shredder, saving a handful of Knights, perhaps also denied a level or a good amount of experience to the Undead units. Undead did have higher hero levels, but in the end, it still was not enough. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.